Hi everyone. In this video, we'll be going over how you can migrate to Shopify using your import column editor through your Shopify admin. Before you start, you will want to have your CSV files and be ready to take a look at importing that file and through your admin, mapping which columns fit into the fields that Shopify offers in our system. So throughout this video, I'll be going through a walkthrough of how it works and also some suggestions as to how you can be as efficient and as effective as you can with the time that you have on your hands. There are some fields that you most likely want to just fill out for each and every one of your products through the CSV file before you import, just because a lot of the times many groups or many companies will want the same value for most of their products for some of the values that Shopify has in our CSV or in our platform. So to start, we'll take a look at a CSV file that may look similar to yours. Yours may have more data, it may have less data, but we're taking a look at the data, and there is one requirement before using this tool through Shopify admin, and that would be to make sure that your product names, wherever the names of your products appear, you want that header to be title, typed exactly like that. Once you have it with the header as title, this is ready to import into Shopify, and even if the other columns don't have an exact match in terms of name, we can still import it and map all the rest of the fields to something in Shopify, but the title column must be written out as you see here. From there, you can go ahead and download it as a CSV. I'll just keep it in my toolbar here. You'll log into your Shopify admin from there. So this is the home screen. You'll just visit the products section from there. And if you go into import, if you still have it in your download bar, you can just simply drag and drop it into the window here. Otherwise, drag and drop it from your desktop or find the file by clicking on the button to go through your Finder. And then from there, you'll click upload and continue. Now what you'll want to click on is make sure you click on this button over here, change the order of your column headings. This will take you to the import column editor itself, and you'll see this window here where all the magic happens. So basically what's happening here is our system is doing its best to match up your column headers with what we offer in Shopify. Sometimes it will find a match where you see these blue marked tick boxes here. And then other times it can't find an exact match, so you're going to have to choose something through the drop-down menu. So for anything that you want to keep, you'll go through and you'll choose a column. So this is a cost column. We do have a field called cost per item. It's just falling outside of the recording screen here, but I'll choose it from the drop down. Once you do choose a value that it falls under, it will mark that as something that you are including with that blue check mark once again and into that column in Shopify. So if you need help learning what columns mean what exact field is mapping to, there's this link over here, need help importing products, that will take you to one of our help pages. And then you can go to the link explanation of the product CSV fields. And then from this page, there is some reading that you can do and a chart that will tell you what all of the different options in that drop-down menu, what that column would be expecting. A lot of them can be quite obvious or quite similar to your old system, but if you want a description, that's how you can find it. Back to my example import here, we have something called brand. We would just look through the list. Once again, it's just cut off on the screen here, but there is a option called vendor in this dropdown that's falling right outside of the screen. I'll choose that as the brand. SKU, it was able to pick up for us, so that works well. UPC barcode is what we have on our sheet, but we want to link that to the barcode field. It's right at the top, so again, falling outside of the screen here. But I'll choose that from the drop-down menu. Now here we have something called the system file code. And so let's just pretend I'm the merchant and I am taking a look at this and I'm determining, hey, you know what? I actually don't use these codes. This is not information that I want to use in Shopify. Perhaps it was just automatically generated from the old system and I don't exactly know how it's used, but I definitely don't want to use it myself. You can go ahead and just ignore that column and not import it into Shopify. And then from there, we take a look at the last column, category. This is actually the product type for me, so it's not exactly the collection, but instead I will choose the product type here. So that is now my product type, what I had called category in my old system. Once you've done the mapping here, you can go ahead and save the column headings, and then you can go ahead and import the products. So the advantage of this process is that it is very easy to use. The interface is not hard to navigate, and it requires very little time in that CSV file. The weakness is it gives you little customization if you have more advanced data, but if you do an import, you will have the opportunity to take a look at those items and how they imported into Shopify here. So these are the items that I had just imported. I can click on one of them, and from here I can view the item and edit any details that did not come over correctly, or if I want to add any additional information that my old system did not have. So this would be an opportunity to use this method to get the data that you have on your exported data. Even if it's not complete, then you can use it as a starting point with Shopify and edit the rest of the data through the interface here after you have what you can grab from your old system into our system already, and then you'll just work from there. So let's jump into some suggestions on how we can best use this particular process to import your data. There's one major suggestion that I would like to present to everybody watching this video, and that is using something that we call tags. So if we were to add a tags column on your data that you have exported and just fill it out with something so that we can identify